Well, good morning, everyone. I'm coming to you in the garden this morning because I was tagged in a collab from my friend Cara Grandle. And in this collaboration, it is about plants that have a story in your garden. But before I get into telling the stories behind the special plants in my garden, I want to tell you about a plant that I don't just yet have in my garden. My grandma and grandpa raised me and my sister from the age of 3 years of age till I was grown. And one of the fondest memories that I have in their yard is they had a bush type tree that bloomed purple flowers every year. And I can remember always going out there and could not wait till those flowers opened. They looked like a hibiscus. They were kind of dark purple that faded into a light lavender, and the centers was like a pinkish purple. And I've always wanted those. And since then, we had a storm that came in and destroyed that tree, and I never knew what it was. My grandma and grandpa has now both passed on, and I miss them so dearly, and I wish that I could have one of those trees in my yard. Doing some research, I kind of came up with, I think it was a Rosa Sharon. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it looked like to me. So I'm going to put a little clip of a picture that I found right here. So hopefully maybe you guys can give me some insights and let me know if that is a Rosa Sharon or not, or if you know something that may be close to it. I'd really love to have one in my garden. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about that has a story in my garden that is so important to me is this. This is a magnolia tree. A few years ago, my mom passed away very suddenly. She's 54 years of age. And her brother, Harry, my Uncle Harry, and his wife Amber came to see me and my sister the day after she passed away. And they brought me and my sister both a magnolia tree. And whenever I got this tree, I was so excited. I've always wanted a magnolia tree. I had never seen a magnolia tree that bloomed purple flowers. I just thought that they were white. So it was really important to me to find a space that I could plant this tree, that I could always be able to look at it and remember my mom. And what better space was to be in my beautiful garden. So thank you, Uncle Harry and Aunt Amber, for bringing me this tree. It brings me lots of joy every year, and I really enjoy it. It's very special to me because I always remember my mom whenever I come out and see the purple tulip-like flowers blooming every spring. The next important thing in my garden that has a story is my weeping willow tree. I've always wanted a weeping willow tree for as long as I can remember, and about 4 or 5 years ago I actually got one. The story behind it is I just think that they're beautiful, and there's just something magical about weeping willow trees. The thing that makes it so important to me is every year I come out here on Memorial Day and I decorate in remembrance of my dad. He passed away whenever I was about 22, 23 years of age, and was cremated, and we don't have a place to put him right now, so he is here with me. So this is where I decorate in remembrance to him every year. And every time I come out here in the spring and it's blooming and it's coming to life, it always reminds me of my dad and brings back memories that I will always have of him. So my weeping willow tree is very special to me, just like everything else that's in my garden or in my yard. It brings me joy to know that I can walk around my yard and see so many things that remind me of the loved ones that are not here with me anymore. And what better way to do it than the ways that I love to go out and see life in the garden and enjoy it. Okay guys, the third thing that's in my garden that's important to me and has a story is squash. Some of you may say, how does squash have a story in your garden? Well, the story is that's where it all started. That's where my entire journey and story started with gardening. The very first year that I gardened, I was a complete failure. I couldn't get anything to grow at all, and I had spent days and hours hand digging a bed, and I was so defeated and so discouraged that I wasn't ever going to garden again. And the following year, my brother-in-law has a beautiful garden, has for years, and said, Tambra, come and plant anything that you want in my garden and try over here. So me and my children went and planted one squash plant, and it grew waist high, and some of the fruit that we got off that thing was arm length. And I was so amazed and just fell in love with gardening. I had to know more. I had to learn more. I had to make myself successful in this. I'm one of those people, it's all or nothing. If I can't get it, I will continue to do it over and over and over until I learn it or master it. I don't move on. So that's where it all started for me, was one squash plant in my brother-in-law's garden. And every year I just learn more and more, and I really get more involved, more in tune, more in touch with my gardening. And it all started with one little squash plant, and I just think that they're beautiful. I mean, these have like variegation to their leaves, and we love squash, we eat squash, and it's something that really brings me joy to look back at my struggles in the garden and then be able to come out here and see the beautiful space that I created. It's been a lot of work, but in the end, it's all been worth it. So yes, squash will always be special to me. I'd like to say thank you to my friend Cara Grandle for tagging me on this collaboration. I've had a lot of fun being able to walk through my garden, to see the plants that bring a lot of memories and joy to me, and have the stories behind them and why I do what I do in my garden. So thank you, Cara, for tagging me on this collaboration, and I can't wait to see what everybody else has in their garden and hear the stories behind them. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video.